three of us have to take a shit, right?
Together.
Not together.
Damn! Why is this intestines falling out?
Ooh.
What? Damn!
Are you looking at that GIF? Oh, yeah. dude, I gotta use Kung Lao.
Kung Lao was so cool, right? He was so cool.
Oh. Mortal Kombat looks so shit.
You think so?
What? Get out of here, dude.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to be a contrarian. That shit looks so dope.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks so dope. I mean, I don't even want to play the actual fighting part anymore. I just want to get to the fatalities.
I agree. The single player content is going to be enough to be worth it, you know. Anyway, Ricky, you got to sit to your left.
Oh, how about if I just do this and make it appear like I sat to my left?
That works. All right. Perfect. Internet. Oh, shit. Internet. What's up? It's Thursday. My name's Eris, and you're watching ATP Live. Sorry, I got to get my shit together. There's a couple things that I fucked up in the beginning of the show. I'm joined by Rip and Ricksta. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Damn!
What are you watching?
I'm doing okay.
I'm just clicking GIFs in the link.
Oh, gifts in the link, huh? Gifts in the link. Gifts in the link. What are you talking about?
This guy's just posting. Damn!
Oh, are you talking about black
fatalities?
Yeah, black chapters, man.
Anytime he puts a link, it's either something to do with an Asian girl or Mortal Kombat gifts. He's on.
So it's a win-win either way.
Yeah, it's home run city with that guy. He's like the new. What was that girl's name? Juliana or whatever. Remember Juliana?
Oh yeah, EMP Juliana.
Yeah, remember she was like famous in the chats for like top tier links. Anyway. All right, Internet, what's going on? It's Thursday, as I mentioned. It's another one of those really packed full of exciting news episodes. Tons. Actually, there's a couple things we want to talk about. It's not like hella compelling, but I think high level.
I like how.
What?
No, I like how at the end of the show you're like, this show's not going to be that compelling, but we're going to make it interesting anyway.
Yeah, we always do. I mean, that's how it works. We always do this shit every time. So what the fuck were we going to talk about? First of all, the thing that's really chapping my hide most out of anything is that Super Arcade is still closed. I mean, I see people like Alex Myers sometimes stop by in my chat, and I think about, is this what the future would be if there was no Super Arcade? Let's say, and I don't think this is going to happen, but let's just say Super Arcade never opened, and Watson moves to Portugal, and just takes all the Kickstarter money with him and starts a new life, stuffing people's corpses with cocaine. And Super Arcade never exists again. What would that mean for our scene? What would that mean for SoCal? I mean, the thing is that since the beginning, since before I could remember any kind of fighting game community existing, SoCal and California in general has been a really, really like an important region when it comes to fighting games. Usually the best players are from here. Usually, not 100% of the time, but SoCal is a very strong region. And one of the main reasons for that is that SoCal has always had at least one like hub location where people got together, if not weekly, bi-weekly, to play and, see each other in an offline environment and compete against people who are really dedicated. Now, if that at least, I mean, I'm not really sure of any other locations other than Super Arcade that currently exist and are active. But if Super Arcade closes, what do you boys think would happen to our local scene? Do you think that perhaps SoCal might fall off and it just might die? What about the entire scene altogether? What do you think? What are your thoughts, Rip?
I don't think the entire scene would die. I just think that everyone in the scene would be way worse. And it would obviously be way smaller as well. Over time, not initially, of course, because we have a pretty decent sized scene now. But give it a couple months, maybe 6 months, and I think all scenes you'll start losing players, and eventually skill level will drop because it'll be less and less people, exposed to different play styles, etc. So yeah, it'd suck.
I think it's such an interesting symbiotic relationship because you have all these people that watch Street Fighter, and then you have the people that play it, which is a very small minority, like the competitive players that enter And, they're the reason these tournaments can exist. Without the players, there's no stream. But
Right.
the reason the stream is there is for the, stream monsters, right? So this interesting symbiotic relationship exists, right? If Super Arcade were to, let's say, close, the players, as you mentioned, and that's my hypothesis too, that they would eventually wane. The numbers would wane, and you would have less and less players. If you have less players entering, then the events are going to be less extravagant, and it would just eventually things would not work out too well. This is my theory. This is my idea. Now, it's totally a guess because, as I mentioned, we've never not had a hub like Super Arcade or Golfland or something, right? But I don't know. What do you think, Ricky?
It's tough. I mean, it depends on the scene. Like, I don't see Street Fighter dying at all. Like, I think that if Super were to close down for good, all the like, I feel like there's like mini communities in a sense, so that they'd break up and then they form something for themselves, in wherever they're from. I don't know if it'd be like it won't be Wednesday Night Fights big, but uh, maybe they'll just like have like a small click again. Like
Yeah.
I think about like Street Fighter or not Street Fighter, Tekken 5, and how we had like the Super Arcade slash like Vid 94 slash like
FFA and shit.
yeah versus FFA, right? Like those are like the two main parts of SoCal. When FFA didn't get the next Tekken, that entire scene basically either came over to us, which was like basically James and Tim, right?
Hmm.
Or they just stopped playing completely,
Yeah.
or when we never saw them again, So,
Mhm.
um, but I also think about how when Golfland closed down back in what 2004 or whatever,
Yeah.
it was that broke off, but because there were at least places still around, the scene didn't die, it just kind of spread out everywhere.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that was the birth of like FFA becoming big and Super Arcade and all these other places, but it's tough now just because there is no more arcade, so I guess you have to find a substitute for the arcade, and that's gonna be a hard thing to find.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because it's really good to look at the past to see how things will likely go in the future. And in the case of Southern Hills closing, that's totally true. It kind of spread everybody out and gave like different regions, smaller regions, like different counties and shit, their own kind of cliques and their own scenes. And the epicenter moved to the next lowest common denominator. So then eventually it became Camelot Golfland, and then it became whatever, Infinity Arcade, etc., etc. Now at this point we have Super Arcade. It's kind of like the final arcade that's a community-driven place, and if that one closes, I think you're right. I think it'll become even more spread out, and I think there will be those clicks. The thing is that the thing that I'm really focusing on is the idea of this relationship between like the streamer, the players, and the stream watchers. And I think that relationship might become damaged because there's no one stream to watch. It's so shocking to me when I go exploring out and looking for streams, and I find a stream like, for example, Snake Eyes, right? Snake Eyes is such a famous player. I mean, Charles's brother, he doesn't know anything about Street Fighter, and he was like, yeah, Dragon Eyes is sick. So I mean, this guy is very, very famous to the point where random dudes like Charles's brother knows him at least to some degree, right? So I'm thinking if these guys independently can't produce these large, large numbers, but together they can, people like Valle need this group of players to come together to produce the numbers. Like, for example, earlier I was watching Alex Valle stream, and he was doing another one of his online tournaments. Now, it wasn't officially the Wednesday Night Fights tournament, but he was getting like 800 people watching like this online tournament with a bunch of different people who were participating. And I personally wasn't interested in watching. It doesn't matter who they are because it was online. So I'm thinking if Super Arcade were to close, I'm thinking that a lot of things would happen. I'm thinking the skill level would go down like the way Rip said. I'm also thinking the popularity of watching these types of things would go down too. Because unless there is that one big bazooka every week that goes off where people want to watch these guys try their heart out in an offline environment, I don't know, the scene might fall asleep. I don't want to put too much like pressure on Super Arcade's shoulders, but yesterday I was watching Spooky and I was watching Next Level Battle Circuit, And I was thinking to myself, like, dude, if these guys stop doing this shit too, like, let's say, God forbid, boom, something happens and next level doesn't exist tomorrow, right? Then it would be a disaster. Because without those guys doing their shit and without us doing our shit, basically nobody's doing anything. I mean, the ones that do stuff are just not able to bring in the numbers to have enough of an effect. So it would be bad news city, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this is a thought that came to mind when I'm kind of, damn, Malice says the Dark Ages are coming.
I saw that too.
The
I
Dark
think about it,
Ages.
but if Spooky, let's say something unfortunate happens, Spooky doesn't stream a weekly anymore. He'll still do majors, obviously, but I feel like there should be at least there'll be someone somewhere streaming something.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I would
know.
hope. I mean, I almost want. I'm not gonna say that guy because that's a terrible idea. I was about to say Jaxel. That was a terrible idea. Not him. It's anyone else good could
Well,
stream.
I mean, there's Commando. There are streamers
Yeah.
out there. There's like
Yeah,
Panda X Gaming
they
and
yeah,
random
but
people.
they need. I guess they also need the scene to support it too. So it's like the only reason why Wednesday Night Fights even existed was because some guy some day decided I'm gonna run a weekly thing at my house, and then he stopped doing it. Then Shiggle BMX was like I'm gonna run it in my garage now because I have room, and then everyone kind of started getting the idea of streaming. So I think you can just start over from that again, and go from there. But
Yeah, but it's really a
but
rarity,
yeah,
you
but
know.
you have to build that from the ground up too. So that's gonna be tough.
There are several factors. I mean, let's say, for example, we have to start a new Wednesday Night Fights from scratch, right? And call it some other bullshit, Wizite Fizzites, right? I mean,
Mm,
where are you gonna fucking do it? You can't do it. Who wants
yeah.
to do that in their house? Nobody does. I don't even like having YouTube clowns over. It's really hard to have that many people over, leaving their fucking shit, finding, parking, and there's a lot of factors. So it's really like, I don't know about you guys. I don't know how much you guys miss Wednesday Night Fights, but for me, I really am thinking about how much like I miss it and how much it's like fucking shitty not having anything to do on Wednesdays. You took it for granted when it was here. Now that it's gone, it's kind of like, man, what the fuck? I don't even know where Watso is. I haven't heard anything from him. I don't know what the deal is. It's already feels like it's been a month. You know, Super Arcade needs to come back, or I think we might be in some Dark Ages territory. The way Malice says it in the chat, the Dark Ages could be coming. I mean,
You know,
Either that or we just pray that round one gets Tekken 7.
but even if round one gets Tekken 7, it's not going to help anything because it's not like
Street
this.
Fighter.
First of all, it's not Street Fighter, but second of all, it's not a weekly guaranteed. It's going to happen no matter whether. The good thing
Yeah.
about Wednesday Night Fights really is that if one person can't make it, it still happens. Like the show goes on, even though 2 or 3 people maybe didn't make it. Even if they had a tournament that was 16 people, it still would happen. And it's just like Next Level Battle Circuit. A lot of the time when you watch Next Level, there's only like 16 people there, or sometimes less. But because of Spooky, because of the way it's done, it's still something that you want to watch. These 16 people want to fuck each other up. It's on time. It happens every week, and you could count on it. And that's really what people want. And if that doesn't exist, I could totally see this whole scenario of people being interested in fighting games and $500 million being involved in stuff really fizzling away. So I don't know. I don't know. Especially in times like this. Right now, we have kind of a dry spell. It's Street Fighter 4. They came out with Ultra, and that's it, right? Guilty Gear XRD. That's it. Is there anything else going on until Mortal Kombat? Nothing. You know? I
Yeah,
mean,
even the games that we're doing big, like Marvel, is like
dead.
that game is doing worse than I think it's ever done in like since Marvel 1.
I can't believe it.
I don't think
Like,
Marvel 2 was ever this dead.
Wow.
it does kind of feel that way. Like, well, I mean, yeah, right? Wasn't Marvel 2 during the Dark Ages getting more than 60 entrants at tournaments? I mean, it was. I remember it. And now Marvel 3 is getting 60 entrants at Kumite in Tennessee and shit like that. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I mean, either we need new games or something needs to happen. Some kind of, man, it's crazy how hard it is to do something like what they were doing at Super Arcade with Wednesday Night Fights every week.
The more I think about it, even listening to us talk about it, I mean, I'm like, it seems to make sense that Valle and Level Up should just get a venue that they can do it at. I mean, I know that's easier said than done,
Right.
but it's like if they can't do it, then they were hella getting hooked up by Super Arcade. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, yeah,
I
it's an
don't know.
interesting
Okay,
thought.
so I don't know the ins and outs of that deal. Like the
Right.
deal that Valle and Watson had. But
Hmm.
from what I know, and this is what I've gathered from everyone from Level Up and the history of Wednesday Night Fights. What I know is that it's really fucking hard to get a venue, and when you do get a venue, it costs your two arms, your brother's arms. It costs everyone's arms and legs. It costs a shitload, and to make that money back you have to get an attendance of like 200 people to be able to pay for the rental of this venue. So in that sense, Watson was definitely, hooking up Valle. I don't know the details, but I don't know. Maybe there's another sense in which Valle was, whatever. The point is that, yeah, definitely it's hard to find. That's the biggest obstacle. I guarantee you Valle would do it if he could. It's just not easy to do.
Hmm.
And I think that's the whole point of Super Arcade being closed is the fact that rent was too high, and to pay the rent you have to get bodies in the building, and this is all the big problem right here. I mean, this is the problem. You can't get a venue because it requires too many humans in the building to support it.
Yeah, and you just think about the old venues. Like after they left the garage, I
Mhm.
think right after that they did it at
Dave and
Dave and
Buster's.
Buster's, right?
Hmm.
And that was before Valle got into it with John Nelson, that
Right.
shady ass dude. That guy, that shady ass dude, hooked us up with the Proud Bird
Hmm.
and what was the other place?
The
Hollywood Park Casino.
Yeah, and
Right.
that hotel. We were
The
at a
hotel.
hotel for a while. Remember the poolside shit we had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that place sucked. But but it's like every other place was cool, even though it was like he had to, deal with this dude, obviously,
Mhm.
but it was like, I'm sure it was easier for him to do it like that way than it was to do the Dave and Buster's thing. And then I don't know if they even made a profit off of that, if any, like I don't even remember how much we even had to pay to get into Dave and Buster's,
I
but
remember it being a lot. I remember it being. I remember Wednesday night fights being like $10 at least for a long time.
yeah,
You know.
but they never even ran tournaments either.
Oh
Usually wasn't.
yeah, for a while Wednesday night fights was not even a tournament. You're right about that. It was just pay $10 and walk in
And
this room
play.
and fucking play,
Yeah.
and that worked. Remember how many people entered? Oh
Yeah,
man, I
and
forgot about that.
And Vaya was doing that whole like the level up thing, like where initially it was supposed to be like, all right, you guys all play, you few people play here, and like whoever does really well will get promoted to the big boy group,
Yeah,
and then the big
yeah.
boys play here on stream or
I
whatever.
forgot
I
about
I
that.
remember that.
He had that orchestrated where there was like a kids table and all the losers would play each other and would play against Ricksta, and then whoever did well there would move to the big boys table. I remember that. Wow, that's crazy. How far we've come. Now if it's casuals like Friday night casuals at Super, that shit was a ghost town. It's pretty crazy. Huh.
Why is that though?
I don't know, man. This is really like what I'm talking about. It's so hard to forecast these kinds of behaviors. I mean, they were getting 1 to 200 people at Wednesday night fights when they didn't even have a tournament when it was at Hollywood Park Casino.
I mean, maybe I'm crazier, but I mean, like Commando still streams now, right?
Yeah, I think Commando still streams on his channel of him just playing online.
I mean, I saw him stream like a Smash tournament the other day, right?
Oh,
Anyway,
maybe it was an occasion. Uh huh.
right. I'm just wondering, like, is there no Street Fighter tournaments going on? Like, doesn't it seem like a good time for someone like Commando to go and say, like, well, there's no Street Fighter tournaments going on. Let me host a Street Fighter tournament, stream that.
Yeah. Well, there must be a problem. Where are we gonna
Yeah,
do it?
yeah. I mean, like wherever that Smash tournament was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, but
maybe.
there are places out there, right? There like there's a name I always see floating around. I think it's UGC. I don't know shit about them. I do know that they run tournaments. I don't think I've ever seen a stream. So it's like it's word of mouth type of things, and if people don't know about it or know what's like everyone knows Wednesday Night Fights because it's been promoted so much.
Yeah.
It's on the front page of Twitch. Everyone sees it.
Hmm.
But it's like now we don't know about these smaller tournaments, so we never go unless like I guess the only time you ever found out about these small tournaments a long time ago was going on, Tekken Zaibatsu or Shoryuken,
Yeah.
going to the tournament's announcement thing and being
Yeah.
like, oh shit, there's a tournament, some cities I never heard of, but it's, 45 minutes away. I'll go,
Let's go
Who
check
Dude,
that
gives a
out.
shit?
Yeah.
I stream all the time, and I'm always like trying to keep up with this shit. And if there was a tournament, 5 minutes away from my house, I wouldn't know about it because there is no match finder. There is no tournament announcements thread. That's the way you used to do it. Now it's word of mouth. Now it's someone has to tell me, or it has to be on Twitter. It's like
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't
much.
I don't go to forums. I don't
It's
fucking
it's
know
pretty
about
much Twitter and Facebook kind of killed those forums,
that. Yeah.
and it made it so that even like to even know anything about Twitter or like doing that. Number one, you have to have those accounts, and number two, you have to be following or you have to know the right people to tell you, and it's harder that way in a sense too to bring newer people in just because they have to know like, oh snap, like, oh, this guy is running a tournament here, I'll go. Now it's like before it's like you didn't have to know anyone, you just had to go to a website and be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
there's a tournament, I'll
And
go.
just show up. You just
Yeah.
appear there, and you're that guy, and everyone kind of whispers, "Who's that fucking new guy?" Like
Mhm.
that kind of thing never happens anymore. I don't know. Overall, I think that the future would be fucking shitty. It would be rocky. It would be a bunch of random noobs trying to do some shit, and it would be just separated and uncool. It's very peculiar. I don't understand it. I don't understand how. I mean, it's obviously the followers, but people don't want to watch Snake Eyes play if he's playing at home. They just want to watch Snake Eyes play if he's playing at Wednesday Night Fights because it's Wednesday Night Fights. It's this weird, peculiar thing. I don't know. Either way, Super Arcade, hurry the fuck up.
I don't think it's I don't think
I don't
that's
think that's weird at all.
that's weird
I
either.
think it's weird.
I think people like watching the competitiveness of Snake Eyes playing, but if Snake Eyes just playing online and he's not entertaining enough for it to be entertaining outside of just the match, then it's hard to watch sometimes. Like you have to like streaming.
The game a lot, right?
You either have to like the game or like the person a lot. Whether it be their personality or just in
Okay, so
general.
Ricky doesn't like Snake Eyes. Confirmed. Go on.
I love Snake Eyes.
Fight,
I've never
fight,
seen.
fight.
Fight.
I've never seen his stream though.
No, he's cool. I know. Whatever. You're not cool though. Anyway, go on.
Thank you.
Mhm.
No, it's just that's pretty much it. Like, it's not that surprising. And
Yeah,
the
you're
other
right,
thing
you're
too,
right.
and the other thing too is kind of leading to another topic is that the reason why Vice thing isn't gonna ever explode like just a normal tournament online. The online thing is because you don't have the offline interaction,
Yeah.
and even the stream needs offline like to see offline interaction.
Yeah.
Like
You're
when
right.
some girl grabs Shinblade by the shirt and tries to sit him down. They love that kind of shit.
They really
You
do. Different
and you-
people interacting with each other, whether it be two commentators sitting next to each other, or two players sitting next to each other, or a crowd heckling a player, or whatever. That type of thing is just stream gold. That is where it's at. Speaking of which, this is like a perfect, nicely done, Ricky. Nice
segue.
Yeah, segue, perfect. So, the low tier God and Viscant thing made it to whatever it's called. What's it
World
called?
Star.
World Star Hip Hop.
World
And
Star Hip
that
Hop.
got like 1 billion views. It was super hype. Our Reddit capo was all over it. We made it. World Star. And then out of nowhere, Kumite in Tennessee happens. Tournament stream, whatever. And some dude had taken cell phone footage of our hero. We already knew before he was famous. We loved him because we can't understand a word he's saying. Shinblade, our hero, goes and defends himself against an attack. He really had to parry right there. And it just turned into, I guess, what did it turn into, Ricky? You're the one that frequents World Star. What did that shit turn into?
The comments that I cannot repeat.
I read some of them, and
They were hilarious.
Man, they're so ruthless. Like,
They're good.
they're brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that place is like just a stream chat just turned up like a million.
Way turned up.
Like it's ruthless in there, man. And I don't know, like the Viscant one actually got blown up even bigger. Like it's not just on World Star now. It's because that one guy made that. He clipped it up, right? Made it short,
Thug
so now
Life,
it's
yeah.
easier. Yeah, it's easier to watch. That I swear it's on like collegehumor.com. It's on like a
Wow.
bunch
Oh,
of
God.
random websites, and it's just like Jesus, like it wasn't supposed to be this big, and
I
it
showed my
turned.
girlfriend today, and it's got 1.2 million on World Star right
Oh
now.
my god, dude,
And
that's a
And
Shinblade's
lot.
video was 100,000 yesterday, 150 yesterday, and today it's like 580 now.
That's a lot too. In
Yeah,
a day?
yeah.
yeah, it'll probably it'll probably pass 1 million. The other thing too is like, I always tell myself I just do not want to be anywhere near a World Star video. I don't want my
Bullshit, Rick.
face.
I
Why?
saw you. I saw you on Twitter saying that. I was like, that is such BS.
Why?
I remember
Explain
you.
No,
to
no,
me
no, no.
why.
No, Ricky used to always say, my goal in life is to be on a video and be like, World Star.
No, 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 no. That's the complete. You got it completely wrong. My goal was to record a video and put it on World Star and never have my face on there.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay.
and so that Viscant one was too close.
Wait a
Like
minute.
now,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. What I need to ask you here, because I heard you saying this before, Ricky, and
Mhm.
I was thinking like, I'm not even sure if someone like Shinblade is exactly happy about being this famous on World Star. At first glance, I was thinking, this must be like super dope for Shinblade, right? That's like winning a BET award. It's like, this is tight, World Star. I made it. But I don't know. Is there like an unwritten negative connotation to being this famous on World Star?
it depends if you like it or not. Like usually the videos I watch on World Star, if you're in it, most likely it's embarrassing as hell. So either it's embarrassing, you knock someone out, or you got knocked the fuck out. It's one of those three things.
First
So
of all, I think we have to really talk about one thing here that is super important. Shinblade really handled that situation so well. I mean, as much shit as we talk, right? And as much as we say, like,
No,
oh,
it's true, man.
dude, Shinblade handled that situation so fucking well. As soon as I saw her grab him, I was thinking, oh, God. Do not do it. And you know what he did? He immediately, his instinct, first he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this? And then immediately he looked up and he started looking around the room and he was like, who's missing a bitch? Who bitch this is? Where is he? Someone around here is missing this bitch and I need to figure out who it is because this is crazy. It's my best shirt. And the way he did that, the way instantly his instinct was to do that, I commend that guy. Nice work, Shinblade. You turned
I'll,
this potentially disastrous scenario into a humorous event. I think everyone in the chat should give him a Harada face clapping.
Hell yeah.
Nice work, Shinblade. You're everyone's hero.
I was talking to Rip yesterday, and I was like, he chose the perfect combinations of words and placed them in the perfect order. Like he made it's like who bitch this is.
It was like, and the expression on his face, like the shocked expression. It was like poetry, perfectly written. Oh, nice
Dude,
work.
Beal in the chat said that he could have got Kotaku'd, and one of the comments I read was like, Kotaku was gonna have an article like black FTC member mentally harasses female gamer or something.
Of course, they'll figure something out. Personally, I think he did a swimmingly perfect job of dodging a bullet there. Because she had pretty big forearms. She looked like she had the death grip on him. He was trying to get her off. Dude. Jesus. It's like a crocodile's jaws. Once they're clamped, it's over. I mean, either way, that's funny news. That's what's been going on. Shinblade's been a hero for years, but now he's finally getting the credit he deserves.
And the other good thing about that entire video is that I understood everything Shinblade said.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
Dude, you guys don't even know. Those of you who are noobs to Shinblade, that was like the best pronunciation and sentence structuring he's ever pieced together. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I always have to ask him to repeat. And he gets very frustrated. He gets pissed because he thinks that we're trolling and we really can understand what he's saying. I mean, that guy's a hero. Either way. Okay, Shinblade's a hero. We all gave him our Harada applause. Anything else on this topic before we move on?
I was just cracking up because, like, right when he gets grabbed, you see, I didn't notice it the first couple times through, but you see Shola and Lil Majin in the back, and they're just smiling all big, and he's, like, getting thrown to the side. It's so funny, dude.
Of course.
Oh, that video is too good.
Yeah, it is a good one. It's going to be 1 million on World Star, so... Good shit.
It might blow up to be even bigger.
You never know. Yeah, someone might cut it and then put Thug Life in it. and then boom.
No, it's like the one of the biggest things now is like Vines, right? You know, those 6 second clips or whatever.
Yeah.
And like everyone always takes a sound clip of some funny video and then implements it in their own funny way.
Yeah.
So now there's just gonna be a bunch of shit if it blows up where it's just Vines where you just hear Shinblade's voice. Who bitch this is? And then they just manage to cut it and make it perfect.
Man, nice
They already
work.
have that, dude, with Pokemon. Have you guys seen that? I just put it in the chat.
Yeah,
No,
I've seen that.
I haven't seen it.
It's like Pokemon. They have these clips between the episode where it's like they introduce a new Pokemon, right? And then they show you just like an outline of it, and they're like, "Who's this Pokemon?" And instead of that, they have Shinblade. You know,
Oh, I saw
who
that.
bitch this is? It's so good. It's good.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Okay, well, definitely nice work by Shinblade. What else?
Top World Star comment, legend has it, they're still trying to find out whose bitch that is.
Someone will find out. Maybe there is no answer to that question. You know, it's the book of the void.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, you have to look inward. That's nobody's bitch.
It's all of our bitches.
Oh shit! It's all of our bitches.
That was
Damn,
deep, right?
that's deep. I like it. Okay. Or it's Shinblade's bitch. Ooh,
Damn.
it's getting even deeper. Okay, the twist. What else are we going to
Capcom
talk
Cup?
about on this show?
Capcom Cup?
Oh, what about Capcom Cup?
Not Capcom
I don't know.
Cup. Canada Cup.
Oh, Canada Cup.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's CC.
Nice work. Okay, so all I heard is Canada Cup is having some kind of pay-per-view event that costs $15 to watch. I heard that there was going to be some kind of long set scenario with really, really high profile players. And I thought, okay, whatever, $15 until Charles told me that you could watch that shit for free on mobile. So I was like, okay, let me fucking pull out my cell phone and watch this shit for free. And I did. I watched the grand finals for free. I heard that if you were watching on mobile, you could watch it for free. You did not have to pay. Ricksta and someone on Twitter as well told me that someone was restreaming it, and the restreamer had my picture on the stream. I don't know who that was. It wasn't me, but yeah, whatever. Did you guys watch it? And did anyone watch Canada Cup?
I watched it via methods.
Okay, so you bootlegged it. Go on.
No, actually, I watched it mostly on mobile because I wasn't near my computer.
Right.
So the quality was crappy because I couldn't get into high quality. But anyways, the whole pay-per-view thing for a internet stream is not gonna work, especially not on Twitch. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it somewhere else where it's not Twitch because Twitch doesn't provide that service necessarily, and it's obvious they never did it before, or they've not used to it because that shit was free on mobile. That shit wasn't supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
So they fucked up there. And just overall, it's not the right, just for a tournament like that. I mean, yeah, it was a nice tournament and it was really fun to watch, but I don't think you can get away with doing pay-per-views like that.
Well, we don't even necessarily know if it was a success or not. Because
true.
I know I was in Cherry Warriors chat room. Cherry Warriors, a Hearthstone streamer, and he said, "I paid the $15. I watched that shit."
Yeah, I mean, there are people that will support it,
Yeah,
so
of course.
that's not
Who knows? Maybe it was a success.
No. Okay, the reason why I don't believe it'll work is because when you don't provide it at all to people, a random guy on the stream, like they see the price, right? And like $15, like I'm not gonna pay for that, right? They'll go out of their way to find a way to watch it for free, right?
True.
Versus, let's say they did it the normal way, right? Which is like $8.95, the little joke, but made it, you can only go up to medium quality, right? And then to watch the high def, you have to pay $8.95.
Right.
Then number one, right there, you get rid of all the people trying to go through, the back channels or whatever
that's true.
to watch it. So, and anyone that really does want to support it is already on the channel and they'll support it,
Yeah.
And you might even get the people that normally wouldn't have paid the $15 to watch a pay-per-view, but because it's already, for free, and they're like, you know what, I like it enough, I'll support it now because I'm already watching it.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing too is that it's on a computer, it's on the internet, and the internet is full of bullshit where you just get everything for free.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about it. This isn't like some UFC where if someone is rebroadcasting it, they're gonna get fucking fined and shit. This is like Nothing. I mean, what's Lap Chi Duong gonna do once he finds out someone's restreaming his stream? What's he gonna do? He's gonna get pissed and be like, well, fuck that guy, right? And he would be right to do that, but I mean, it's not like there's some FBI regulation that's preventing it. They'll shut down the stream channel that's doing it. Game over. You know? I mean, all it takes is one hero, and that hero has to just open a Twitch channel and restream it, and then boom, Robin Hood. You know, so you're right. I mean, I think that there are definitely benefits to it being, you know, $8.95 or whatever for high quality. It gives people the opportunity to support it if they want to. It gives the thing is, if you do a pay-per-view event like the one they did, you really shut the door for people who don't even know what it is. I mean, random people stumbling across this stream who don't necessarily even know what's going on, you're really shutting that off. It needs to be a die-hard fan that's going to pay $15. Who the fuck is Luffy, right? People don't know who that is, right? So they got to find out who that is. I mean, if they're not already like a fan, they don't know who Luffy is. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. There are pros and cons overall. I think that it's a little bit ambitious to charge $15. That's a lot. I mean, if you're going to do pay-per-view for sure, why not maybe in the middle? I don't know, $7.50, something like that. That's reasonable. I mean, I know people, like when we went to Super Battle Opera, I know a lot of people paid for the premium, whatever the fuck it was, on Nico Nico to watch us, you know, while we were there. So there will be those people that pay that extra money if they're invested, but the randoms, they're not going to do that. So I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's that great of an idea. It's a little too ambitious. The price is a little high, and you're also closing the door to too many potential viewers. And you're opening the door for Robin Hoods and pirates and shit. You know, so I don't know. Overall, I'd say thumbs down. Even though it's worth a shot, I'm glad they tried it. I'd say thumbs down on the pay-per-view for $15. Your thoughts, Rip?
I think that I like Ricky's idea of going to a lower quality for free, but I think it needs to be even lower. Like I think Ricky said medium quality. I think I'd like to see it like low quality, and then I definitely agree. I think the pay-per-view price is way too high.
They should do it like an old school, like, you know, remember back then when you went to like the naughty channels, 99, 98, and then be all green scrambled? And just all scrambled and shit. That's how they should do it.
They should make it Rick's the camera quality the way we have it right now. Fucking hella shitty quality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I think it should be. No, but also I think that, you know, I think the price is a huge factor. I think it was like a $5 pay-per-view. Even I would be like, yeah,
right?
$5, you know, like, all right.
Yeah,
$5
would have been
totally
true.
Like,
all right, no problem.
Even Charles and I, we were both that day. We were, we were watching it on mobile and watching KIT and shit. Totally, we would have done that as well. I mean, we would have split it. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Right, and the other thing is, like, when you're giving something away for free, say it's at medium quality, like, people are only paying to get it clearer. And if medium is like acceptable, you're not going to pay like 10 or 15 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say it needs to be lower to be like low quality, and then give you like $5 and you get full HD. Like, it's a low price, you get HD, and you can always see it and be like, damn it, I really want to pay for it now. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like Ricky's, idea of scramble channel. It's so bad quality, but you can kind of get the idea.
Yeah.
And it's just $5, So I think that's a better idea. I don't know if it'll actually work out or whatever, but depending on the numbers they got, I think, it could have been a lot better if that lowered the price. And I also think I agree with you on what you said about closing the door to people who don't know anything about it. I think that's a huge factor for something at this stage of the FGC.
I totally think so. There's a lot of factors to it. I think I'm really happy that they tried it, though, because experimenting with stuff like this is good, and we'll see. Maybe if someone
has to lose.
I don't think it would be a loss. Honestly, if I were to guess, I'd say they probably did pretty decent. Like, my guess is they probably did okay. If random, like, out of nowhere Hearthstone streamer Cherry Warrior from UK was down to support this, someone else was down to support this, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in the future this will happen again. Maybe it was a success. I don't know. But I like the idea. I like that they're trying new things. I like that part of it. And, let them try it. Anything else on the topic? Cool. Hummingbird? Okay, what was the next thing we were going to talk about?
Mortal Kombat trailer?
Oh, yes. The thing that I have to bring up about this recent Mortal Kombat trailer that came out, do we have a link? Does anyone have a link to that? Throw that shit in the chat room so I can watch it on stream. If it's
Ooh.
the official link, that would be better. But the thing that was really interesting to me about the Mortal Kombat trailer that came out is they had hyped it up. They had said, we're releasing a Mortal Kombat trailer tomorrow. Be prepared, right? And I knew that they were going to reveal one character plus Kung Lao. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not interested in Kung Lao at all. This is not going to be that cool of a trailer. Don't get that hype. Trailer comes out, and it's Kitana and Kung Lao. Sorry for the spoilers. Kung Lao...
There's the link, by the way.
Okay. Here we go. I'm clicking this shit. Kung Lao looks so fucking cool in this trailer that I can't believe I disliked him. I was thinking to myself when I watched this trailer that it's really, there is so much power in the job of the marketing team that releases these trailers. Because think about the difference between when Lucky Chloe was revealed and how fucking pissed everyone was, and then Kung Lao is revealed, and people like me who don't even... I fucking hated Kung Lao. I hated Kung Lao. That character kept me out of EVO Top 8 when I entered. Kung Lao could go fuck itself. And when I fought against Tom Brady's Kung Lao, in my mind, I was thinking about Kung Lao like he is just my #1 fucking enemy in the world. I hate Kung Lao, right? And I love this trailer. I mean, I was thinking, I want to play Kung Lao. He looks awesome. So that tells me the marketing team has so much power. If they do it right, they can make people like me interested in anything. You know? I mean, in one way, this was like a eye-opener for me. I didn't even think that I didn't think it could be done this right, is what I mean. So I'm done sucking on NetherRealm's marketing team's dick. But what do you guys think about this whole trailer? What are your thoughts?
Ricky, you used to use Kung Lao. What do you think about him?
He looks the same, honestly. I mean, the moves are cool looking. They all look stupid, which is, kind of how...
He's such
Kung
a
Lao.
hater. He hates Mortal Kombat because I kicked the shit out of him so fucking hard, dude. It's like a historic event when I kicked the shit out of him with Johnny Cage. Okay.
There was no hate there. In all honesty, like I thought Kung Lao looked okay. Like I want to see his fatalities. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I was more interested in Katana, honestly, just
She
because.
looked cool too.
Yeah, because she's the character that I think is more my style in terms of just like the character I want to play. Like Kung Lao, the only reason why I picked him was because he was easy.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason. So, no, I think he looks cool though. That move reminds me of Rufus and his throw.
Oh
so
yeah, I never thought of that.
So that bothers me just a little bit because I think I don't think when I see that I'm like, oh man, that's original. That's the first time I've ever seen that. I think Rufus, and that's not a good look.
I don't know. Okay, you're right about that, but when I think about Rufus, I think about a joke. Like this is a joke move. When I think about Kung Lao and think about all the blood coming off of Kano's face and the way his mouth is open, you can put a hot dog in there. I mean, I don't know, man. That shit is really good, dude. I
have to watch it again.
It's
Kung
really
Lao
good.
Is too I never cared for Kung Lao before, man. But watching this, the face punching move, dude, that was like I'm pretty sure that's from Ip Man, but he's like, oh my god, and like it just goes on for so much longer than you expect it to. I'm like, that's perfect.
He's punching it into the ground, it's
dude,
so good.
And then that other movie guy where he like throws the hat and the hat like spins in the middle of the air, and then he just runs and puts his head into it and charges into them. That was too cool. I like that.
Yeah. I'm watching this more, and I realize that he's not on top of the guy, but he's on the side.
Yeah,
and he's got him over his knee. Like he puts him over his knee, and he's punching his face into the ground.
The fact that I'm repeating it over and over is making it great.
Right?
Dude, it's awesome.
You look at the overall composition of this trailer, right? It shows all these things that we're talking about. Then it shows the fatality for Katana, which is okay, cool. You can see it cuts that motherfucker in half. And at the end, it gives you a final money shot. This motherfucker walks out of the darkness. It's Goro. And he's not a boss character. He's going to be available at launch with fucking pre-order or whatever. I'm thinking, fucking nice work, NetherRealm Studios. You guys just hit a home run. This was a great trailer. And it got so many more people amped up about this game. And I'm thinking, Namco Studios, you gotta step it up, dude. You could be doing this kind of thing. You know, Tekken is a good looking game. I
But they can't do that, dude, because you know why? The game's gonna be out and it's gonna be in an arcade. So what are they gonna put? A bunch of arcade commercials together for that? I mean, no one's gonna give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna see the game for 6 months and you're gonna get to play it after that.
This whole arcade thing is a disaster. The
Yeah.
more the more I keep hearing about it, the more time goes by. The Tekken 7 arcade release for 6 months to a year or more is a disaster. By the time it comes out, nobody's gonna give a shit about it. It's gonna be a year and a half old. Technology advances so fast these days. I was playing Metal Gear Solid 1 today. I'm gonna have a heart attack just talking about this shit. Metal Gear Solid 1, I remember when that was fucking cutting edge graphics. Now it looks like so fucking shitty it's a joke, right? So I'm thinking in a year and a half, Tekken 7 is gonna look ancient. It already doesn't look like it's pushing any fucking, cutting edge shit, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's a catastrophe overall. I think it's like they need to abandon that. This needs to be the last time they ever do that, if they even do it this time. I mean, we all agree with that, right? I mean, even for them, even for Japan, even for the rest of the whole world, it's a bad idea, I think. What do you guys think? Rip, you first.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. I mean, I've known that forever. I mean, like, it's not just because we're in America. I mean, it's the hype killing thing about it that really bothers me about it. And I mean, the crazy thing, what you're talking about, the technology thing, all three of the next three big fighting games are all Unreal Engine, right? Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat X, Street Fighter 5, they're all Unreal Engine games, right? Except Mortal Kombat X can come out first, and it's also looking to be like the best looking game, which is crazy, graphically, I mean. And I mean, Tekken 7 looks good. Obviously, we haven't seen the final graphics of it, so it could still surprise us a little bit. But the thing that's bothering me too is like the recent article that came out or something was about Harada saying that Tekken 7 storyline is going to be really dark, and I'm like, why is he saying that? Is he saying that because the storyline is going to be revealed in the arcade? Because if it is, then that does not apply. You know what I mean? Like, because you're going to have everyone watch the thing on YouTube from a camcorder recording off an arcade, and who cares about the hype at that point? Like. So anyway, I don't know. I hope that I hope that the storyline for Tekken 7 is exclusive to console.
No way it will be.
I hope that it is, which I hope that they somehow do that.
I'm sure it will be.
Go ahead.
I don't think. I mean, Tekken 6. You didn't have that bullshit scenario campaign in the arcade.
But that's not the storyline.
That is the storyline.
We don't know. We don't know how they're going to do it.
In Tekken 6, the scenario campaign was the storyline?
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't know that.
You never, because there's a stage in actually not a scenario campaign. That wasn't the PSP version, but basically, anyways, there's at the end of scenario campaign, spoiler, I think Jin dies or something. He's supposed to be dead. I don't know, whatever. So the building collapsed on him or something. You don't see that shit in the actual like arcade mode or whatever. So I think that's supposed to be the actual story, but. They've always done that with Tekken, at least in terms of story. Like Tekken 5 never had real endings in the arcade version. Tekken 6 never had real endings either. So
you're thinking that the console version will reveal the story, which could be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's the way it goes for Namco. I don't know if this is true or not, but like the gameplay is the most important thing, obviously, for arcades, and then it's the console, the storyline, and the other bullshit for the console.
Bowling and shit.
Yeah, although they haven't really done that since Tekken.
They should really
Tag
do
one.
a racing. I want them to do a racing mini game. Tekken kart racing.
Yep.
That would be sick. This next Tekken 7, here it is, internet. I'm saying it right now. Tekken kart racing, make it happen. I don't know. I noticed in the chat room, Reality mentioned what we should talk about what we think about the idea of Goro being a launch pre-order character exclusively. Now, I have to say that I would probably bet money that Goro is going to be a pre-order character, but only for like a month. And then after a month, it's going to be a free character available online or something like that. There's no way that they're only going to make this character available for pre-orders, and then that's it forever. You're either going to be able to buy him, or you're going to be able to get him for free after a certain amount of time. How I feel about that specifically, I mean, I'm going to enter in tournaments, and I think the rule as a tournament organizer would probably be that Goro will be banned until he's available for everyone. because I don't think that's fair to run a tournament where a pre-order character is available when I personally am going to try and get that game from that fucking store, you know? So I might not even get Goro if that he's only available via pre-order, you know? So I think chances are TOs will ban Goro until he's available for everyone. Because of that aspect of it, I don't love the idea, but I can understand why it's a good idea, and I can understand why they did it the way they did. Goro walks out of the fucking darkness and makes you want to pre-order the game when you watch that trailer. So again, home run derby, if you ask me. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm sure you agree. Shitty idea, but you understand, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize that Goro. Honestly, I never thought about pre-ordering this game until Goro walked out and that said pre-order only. And
Yeah.
I never thought about how good that was. When I saw that, I was like, I want to play him. He just
Right.
walked out of
Yeah.
the fucking dark.
Right? And
He
he's
has
cracking
four
his
arms.
knuckles. He's about to give you a fucking knuckle salad, dude. If you don't pre-order it, Goro's gonna give you a knuckle salad. You
Yeah,
know?
I, I don't know. I know for sure. Like they'd be dumb for Mortal Kombat, the developers, if they made him pre-order only and that's it.
I doubt it.
How did Tags 2 work? Like, cause you remember, was it pre-order for Snoop Dogg and then two characters, right? Either Angel and Kunimitsu for one system or some shit, and then like the two other characters for the other system.
It was something like that, and yeah, I think they made it available for free after a while. I mean, there's no way they can't do that. The character would be buried. Like
Yeah,
in 6 months, it would be like, where? How do you get Goro? You know, like that would just be stupid.
yeah. Of course,
There's no way they're gonna do it.
of course, not gonna do that. How I see it is that I think even if they don't release them, if they don't release them immediately as like DLC, then yeah, they'll just wait like a month or so and then make them available for everyone via DLC. Probably, maybe not for free, maybe like a couple bucks or whatever. I think that's the way they did it for Xrd and for one of their characters. One of the chicks in that game is a pre-order character as well as a DLC at the same time. So
Yeah, there you go.
if you didn't pre-order the game, you can still get her. You just had to buy her.
There you go. Sure. Why not?
Oh, that would be cool if they charged for Goro. That would be a good idea too.
Yeah, why
I think
not?
that I'm fairly confident that's the direction they're gonna go. And it's fucking Goro. Who's not gonna pay for that guy?
I'd pay for him. I'm ready. I'm ready to pay for Goro right now.
Yeah, and if any of you guys in the chat or watching this video are thinking like, you're gonna get the game eventually anyway, just fucking pre-order it and get Goro right away. Like, you're gonna have the game; it's gonna be fun anyway.
I am planning on getting it for 2 consoles.
Damn, it was that.
Maybe I shouldn't after that outburst.
Yeah.
Right there, it was like it was an omen.
Wait,
But
what consoles are you getting it on?
PC and PS4.
Oh, okay. Why
I mean-
PC?
Well, I mean, your PC's on all the time, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah. Okay.
PS4 is not on all the time. So, I mean, obviously, I would get it for PS4 because that's probably going to be the console of choice for tournaments. And then I'm going to get it for PC because, sometimes you just want to fuck around, right? And you just want to go into practice mode and shit. PC's also, I don't know, whatever. I like the idea. I also want to support PC fighting games, too. That's another big reason. I'm planning on doing that with Tekken 7 as well, so I don't know. One huge gaping hole in this whole Mortal Kombat equation really is the online netcode. Yeah. I always say there's you can count on these guys because they're learning from their mistakes. They're going in a direction. Whether you like it or not is not the point, but they like it. It's their vision, and they're making improvements on what they think are their mistakes. The big trouble, though, is Mortal Kombat 9's netcode was unacceptable, and then the next game, in Just Ass, absolutely unacceptable. The netcode was putrid. So bad that I think that it's warranting of a refund if that's why you bought it. It doesn't work, So I'm concerned. I don't know how hard it is for a company or a development team like NRS to develop a netcode, but I'm definitely concerned. It could be really shitty. If I were to bet on it, and I'm really a tight ass when it comes to betting on shit, I would not bet on it being good. I would bet on it being bad. That's a disaster if that ends up being the case, but not that big of a disaster because it'll get tournament exposure anyway. What are your thoughts? You look like you got something on the tip of your tongue, Rip. I guess not.
No, I was thinking that, how much does NRS actually think that this is an issue? I mean, they must know that this is a huge issue, right?
Well,
And
maybe
we
it's
always
not a huge issue. That's the thing. Maybe it's a huge issue to us, but they're thinking we don't give a fuck. It's going to sell 1 billion copies anyway.
right.
MK9 and Injustice did, and we didn't try with that shit. So who knows?
But is that their strategy? Like, well, it sucks. Everyone knows it sucks, but they're gonna buy it anyway, so whatever.
You just said it right there.
That
dude.
could be it, or it could be more along the lines of it's going to sell even if it sucks, so let's put it last priority. And let's make first priority the aesthetics of the game, the fatalities, the things that make Mortal Kombat. And let's put the online netcode as literally final priority. We'll pay some random jobber like BL or something to develop the Game Spy connection version of whatever. You know, that could be more along the lines of their strategy.
I mean, the thing that's concerning to me is like whether reviews of the games in the past, which I've never looked at, but whether the reviews of Injustice MK9 like complained about the netcode at all. Like, if the reviews had complained about it, like, you know, an IGN review or something, then at least NRS would be like, all right, cool, you know, we should address this in an upcoming interview and talk about how we've like revamped the netcode for MKX. And as far as I know, we haven't heard anything about that yet. And it is still early. You know, we still got 3 months, so that could be something they tweak. But I mean, I would like to know if it's a priority now. You know what I mean?
The problem with the reviews, though, especially for like online play, is that usually they review a game before release, so you're not going to play anyone like particularly far, I would assume, right? Or even close.
And also, the servers are not going to be clogged up; they're going to be empty, so it's going to be people just connecting all day.
Right, but I mean, like, say if I was a reviewer for IGN or something, and I was reviewing Injustice, I'd be like, this is the game, whatever. We haven't really got to try online yet, but based on MK9, we're not hoping for much, but hopefully it'll be better this time around. At least if they said something like that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, right? But I mean, if they didn't, all these reviewers, you need to fucking pay attention on MKX's netcode. That's all I'm saying.
I think reviews, the word reviews, and especially when you include things like IGN and shit that produces a lot of money, I think every word in those reviews is like subject to, serious scrutiny.
Right.
Subject to serious cash.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're saying if I was writing a review, but you're missing the part where, some random dude with like an NRS briefcase opens that shit up in front of you and is like, check out this shit, amigo. Say it's dope.
So what I'm saying is I'm going to put out a review about your netcode, so send me your briefcase already. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you're not IGN, dude.
Shut up.
I mean, when you're IGN, they'll be like, your briefcase is on its way, Rip. When you're IGN, you don't even need to say that. You know the briefcase is on its way.
I'm going to put out a review saying, hey, guys, this is IGN, and this is my review of Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, and then you got to be
I'm
like,
put their logo.
Who bitch this is at the end. Catch some of the, and then throw some Lucky Chloe's in there, catch some of that, and Waffle run off. Fuck it.
Do that. I'm going to put out that review with an IGN logo. What's the word?
What NRS needs to do is like make the next trailer they make, reveal 2 characters, and then out of the darkness comes like greater netcode pre-order shit, and then you buy that shit. That shit would be sick.
Now that
everyone would love that.
NRS, when Injustice was coming out, everyone was saying MK9 had shitty netcode. Are you addressing this? And they were saying, oh yeah, we got new and improved netcode. This shit's sick. Everybody check this shit out. Boom, it launches. 1 billion copies sold. Batman, Superman. We're out of here. Doors closed. We're closed for business. See you later. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. Even if they did ask, like, hey, NRS, what's your priority? Is this really important to you? Of course they're going to say it is. I mean, we're adding tons of robust new features and connectivity issues, blah, blah, blah. Exemplary performance under high-speed testing from coast to coast. Whatever, man. They're going to write some bullshit and say some bullshit. We're never going to know until it comes out. And like I said, if I had to bet on it, I'd say it probably won't be that good. We'll see. I hope it is. It's really important, especially for people like streamers. I mean, streamers need to be able to stream it for people to watch it and be like, this is sick, to go buy it. That's typically the case. However, Mortal Kombat kind of is a perpetual motion machine. It's going to sell itself. So
that reminds me, Mortal Kombat 9 never came out during the streaming boom, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
But I mean, I don't remember it being like a big, a stream game.
Right? I don't remember individual players streaming it, but I do remember it being at Wednesday Night Fights because I won a shitload of them. I mean, remember? I used to go to Wednesday Night Fights. I used to
remember, Rick?
I used to
Yeah.
No, yeah,
commentate a lot. I used to commentate.
I know,
Remember Green Kick
but
and Red Kick from
yeah, I'm
what's his name? Cage.
okay, okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
And
just
you
it
remember
was
my
just
chat?
Your chat. What do you? Oh yeah, rip with the
Yeah.
noob clones. Yeah,
And half
definitely.
them
It was
hated me, half them loved me.
definitely.
oh
I
yeah.
did commentary with Hector from NRS. I did commentary with him. You remember
He's
that? I
not
was
from
talking
NRS,
hella
by the
shit
way.
about MK9 upball. Remember Kano upball? They patched it so it's a safe uppercut, and in the corner you can do 3 of them combo. Oh, and then they took it out as soon as I placed top 4 with it. That was against that guy Ruin. Do you remember that match? Does anyone remember that match? I know Charles does. That shit was sick. Anyway,
That anytime you bring up Ruin's name, that's the only story that comes out of your mouth.
that's the only thing I know about him. All I know is that he tried beating me with Kung Lao, and I couldn't beat him with Smoke, and I switched to Kano and upballed my way to top 4. And that's that. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Online is very important, and I hope it's good. And I think it'll be shitty. That's the conclusion I'm coming to. What else? What else were we going to talk about?
That's all we had on the list, I think.
That's
But
it.
yeah, but there's something I want to talk about. I just remembered, like,
Sure.
Microsoft has a Windows 10 event coming up on January 21st. So that's 6 days away.
Okay.
And they said something about, it's going to be a Windows 10 event, but we're going to have some exciting news for Xbox people as well. And I have no idea what that means. But like, I was thinking, like, what does that mean? Like, because I know that they already announced that they're going to cut the price of Xbox One to 350, I think, on January 16th. But I was like, what kind of Windows 10 announcement would have to do with Xbox? And so I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I don't know what they're going to do with it. But I was looking at the sales, like number of units sold last night, globally total right now. And for Wii U, it's like 8.8 million. And then Xbox One is beating it, and it's like 10 million or something. And then PS4 is like 18 or 19 million. So
Yeah.
PS4 is almost outselling it 2-1. So they're
Yeah.
getting wrecked. They're getting totally wrecked. And so I was
Really bad,
thinking,
yeah.
like, what could they do? And why does Windows 10 have anything to do with Xbox? And so I was thinking maybe they would allow Xbox games to be played on Windows 10. Like,
Ooh.
is that impossible? I don't know. Like,
You mean like you don't need an Xbox One?
right? Like, as long as your PC has the minimum requirement. I'm just making this up. This is my guess, right? Because what else could they announce? That you could delete messages from your PC. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can already do that stuff. So what could they announce that has Xbox integration with Windows? And that's the only thing that I can come up with. Because I was thinking the other way around. Like, maybe they'll make Xbox One be able to run Windows 10, so you can
No
run
way.
it as a PC machine. But then you'd get access to the hardware, and then they'd pirate it. So I'm thinking, nah, that's probably not the best way to do it, right? So I don't know. It's interesting, and we'll find out next week. So
You
You
know,
get to play Minesweeper on your Xbox One now.
boom.
that reminds me, a couple months ago you were mentioning something about Steam having like region locked and shit.
Right.
Region. Did that really mean that you can't get a deal from G2A anymore or what?
I have no idea. I think you just limited to what you can get from G2A. Like, I think before you could have bought like a Russian version or something from G2A and you'd have been all right. But now you have to get from like an American version.
Or Global Key or whatever?
I don't even know if those exist.
They do. Yeah, that's what I got.
I mean, they still exist. That's
Oh, I don't know if they still exist.
Right.
But,
That's what I
the thing I'm asking him about is, so there's deal websites, and he told me a while ago that I guess Steam updated their shit to implement a region locking type of thing, and he speculated that you might not be able to use these deal websites because sometimes they get these download codes from these weird janky countries, and that's how they're able to sell them so cheap. So I don't know. I guess we don't have confirmation if that's the case or not, but that's something that I was considering. I guess that should wrap it up. Unless you guys have anything else to cover, we can move on to bitch callings. I gotta take a shit. I'm gonna be honest.
we all know how the show started.
Yeah, we were all in the same boat. I don't know how things have developed for you guys, but I'm having a serious situation here.
We should stretch this out a little bit longer. What other topics can we talk
There's
about?
got to be a couple more topics. Oh, there was a Tekken 7 one. Oh, no, it's just what I mentioned earlier about storyline or something.
JDCR has been streaming a shitload.
There is another topic.
Okay.
Well, it's mini topic, but Tekken 7 is coming out in February. That's 2 weeks away. That's kind of crazy, right?
I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, it's not
It's
really
soon.
coming out. We're only gonna get to see videos of it.
I mean, that's how it's gonna be for the next year anyway, dude.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
cool.
coming out.
I remember February is not the real launch. It's the
Yeah,
beta
soft
launch
Who
for the real
cares?
launch.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
still
real
counts.
launch, dude.
It still counts.
Totally
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah, of course it counts, but you know, it's not the.
We're 1 month
official
away.
thing.
We're
1 month
definitely
away.
going to have a lot to talk about on the show when that happens. I mean, there's going to be a lot of footage available. There's going to be more complete version of the game that we can comment on, so that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Someone in the chat mentioned KIT. That's definitely something that we could talk about. I mean, we mentioned the Shinblade thing. Incognito went over there, the only representative from SoCal, to Tennessee, which is a really, really tough neighborhood. And also, you know, they had a lot of players from Atlanta there. I don't think Anakin went. I don't know why, but Anakin wasn't there. And, you know, I watched most of it. I was surprised Majin didn't do as well as I had expected. He had some tough matches. I forget the guy who beat him, but he beat that guy in Double Jeopardy later. He was like a Wang player. Wang
Obscure?
and yeah, maybe obscure. Put him in losers, and then in Double Jeopardy, he took him out, and then
Sword of Dios.
Sword of Dios. Yeah, that was him. I don't know who was him. Sword of Dios was up there. Cody Vu did really well. You know, actually, after watching him play, I've been playing Kazuya lately just because he made it look so fun. But he got wrecked in the grand finals real hard.
That's funny, man, because I remember Cody getting second at some other tournament where he lost to Obscure, and then Obscure did like 360s around the ballroom after he beat him. Well, Cody was just like putting his head.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that sucks. He's like Bonchan for Tekken this year, huh?
Well,
Bridesmaid, never the bride?
I don't. Yeah, I guess he didn't lose to Obscure this time, though. He lost to
Incog, which is. But losing up either of them is not bad, you know.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, second place is really good, dude. Mishimas are fucking hard to use, dude. Especially like Kazuya is really hard, you know. And I think he did really well. If you ask me, he hit counter hit down 4-2 electric in the tournament. You know, like crowd goes wild. He did well. Gamble did really well too. You know, I'm always saying how that guy doesn't do as well as I think he should, and he did great. You know, the one thing is, I think he fucked around a little bit, and he picked some whack team trying to get some gimmicky wins, and that was a disastrous decision. But other than that, he did super well. Tournament was cool. Kind of surprised that Incog won because there isn't like a weekly event that he goes to practice up at, and also Cabal is gone, so his number one, you know, practice isn't around. But he kicked the shit out of everyone that was there. So good shit. Incog won. As far as the rest of the tournament, I kind of caught, you know, what I could, but nothing really too noteworthy other than Shinblade parrying off those ham hocks.
He teched the grab, dude. Teched the grab.
Yeah, so, yeah,
KIT
was cool.
There's the other tournament, the Third Strike 5-on-5 tournament. That was sick.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. What was
Cooperation,
that called?
Cooperation Cup.
Yeah,
you know, their format is exactly like Master Cups, too, so that was kind of pretty cool to watch.
And a lot of viewers for Third Strike.
So Master Cup's a 1-day event. This one was 2 days, but there was 2 different tournaments. The first day was an all-character tournament where it was like you teamed up with anyone that played your character, right? So a 5-man Dudley team versus a 5-man Chun team or whatever. And the sickest one was the 2-man Chun-Li team that was just MOV and Nuki.
Yeah.
And they did well. They didn't make it to top 8, but they did. You know, they beat people with only 2 people.
Yeah, it was definitely a good tournament. I was watching that as much as I could. It was really fun. I just wish more events like that happened, and I wish they got the views that one got. Speaking of international tournament / stream getting good views, we were mentioning Nee used to or has been streaming via whatever the fuck that weird shit is.
Africa.
Yeah, Africa. But you know he started streaming on Twitch.
What?
A couple days ago, I was streaming, and he was streaming at the same time. So that was pretty cool. He was getting a good, I'm around 300 people watching him. And also, nice. JDCR has been streaming a shitload. In fact, really consistently. I think for him, it's like 2 a.m. or something in Korea, which comes out to being like 10 a.m. for Pacific time for me. So he's been doing that pretty consistently, and he got a sub button, too. So that's pretty cool.
Everyone go sub to JDCR right now.
Make it happen.
He's in the chat.
He's right there.
TK JDCR.
Yeah, and he speaks English too, which is like fucking huge high five if you ask me. So you can check that guy out. I don't know what else I'm forgetting. I definitely have to take a shit. I keep thinking about it. We could
It's
cover that
creeping.
topic
It's creeping.
if you guys want. But you guys have any bitch callings that you want to?
Dude, easy, man. Bitch
Who?
calling of the week, man. In that Shinblade video, the guy in the background.
It's everyone's bitch.
Yeah. No, no, what? No, no, what? No, the guy in the background who yells out like,
Just
"Just
DQ him.
DQ him."
Yeah,
That guy,
fuck that.
easily the biggest bitch of the
You
week,
know
dude.
that guy definitely is the biggest bitch because if you think about it, Shinblade handled that so well. That guy should
Right.
DQ himself. I mean,
Mhm.
that shit is crazy. Shinblade is really like a hero because not only did he produce this hilarious video and everyone's happy and they're making T-shirts about it, but he dodged a catastrophe. He could have hit her in the face.
Yep.
I mean, so have you seen that video? It's a really old video of this kid. It's like a black kid, a high school kid. He's being interviewed by some like high school other kid, and he's got a microphone in his face. And some other guy jumps out of a garbage can with a mask on, and the kid turns around and instinct, he just boom, pure instinct turns around, punches that guy's lights out. That could have happened. Shinblade's instinct could have been like, "What the fuck is this?" Boom, game over, and that would have been Disaster City. So yeah, fuck that guy. He's definitely a bitch. I agree with you. Just DQ.
You know, and what happens? What happens? Just by the chance, Shinblade didn't even know that she was a she.
I know. He could have been like, "Who is this guy?" But I
Remember
mean,
that there was that Family Guy episode where Peter punched a
That's
dude,
right.
or he thought it was a dude in the face, and it ended up being a pregnant chick.
She was like breastfeeding or something.
Yeah.
What the hell is this guy doing? Hey, Lois.
That could have totally been Shinblade at that moment. You know, we don't know. I mean, this.
Yeah,
So he handled that well.
I agree. Again, standing ovation for Shimblade. Nice work.
Mhm.
Who's a bitch, Ricky?
Man, I can't think of any, so it's just that chick. She's a bitch because we don't know whose bitch she is. That's very generic and very boring.
My bitch calling is gonna be you, Ricksta.
I
Definitely.
know. Okay.
It's just because sometimes I gotta tell you, you're a great partner. When we did that rally race in GTA, I felt like
How
we were just
dare you?
perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. Easy left, easy right, very long, easy left, baby. Whatever. Nice work on that. But then when we team up in something like Resident Evil 5, I don't. It requires. I feel like I have another enemy, a short enemy. And I don't like it. I mean, we're supposed to be cooperating. It's a co-op playthrough, and I feel like it takes 2 deaths at least for you to get your shit together. I'm trying to be your amigo, and it's like you have no sense of. I feel like you let me do things. Like you go ahead and kill yourself. Go. You solve the puzzle. Fuck you, Eris. So it makes for entertaining stream material. But
Yes.
regardless, you are my bitch calling of the week. That's for sure. You're a shithead and a terrible partner, unless we're doing rally.
I'm a great partner, man. There was that one time where there was the little C4 tied to that string, and I let you run right to it.
That's true. That's true. I learned the hard way.
You see, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for your stream. So,
Okay, so you're just setting traps as jokes, huh?
Mhm.
All right. Also, the Hind D helicopter in Metal Gear Solid 1 could go fuck itself. I only had 1 ration.
You
Anyway,
still haven't beaten that thing?
it's like 3 tries so far. I had to go, sometimes when your mind is preoccupied, you can't focus. Anyway.
With what, a shit?
Yeah, I'm preoccupied right now. That's for damn sure. So
Leakage.
plug your stuff before we go. I always forget to let you guys do that. Plug all your channels.
Rick,
Follow me, Twitch, Twitter, Rick Steezy, 3 E's. I'm going to stream sometime next week. Something's wrong with my capture card. I got to figure it out. But when I do, I'll stream maybe Tekken, I guess.
Definitely follow him. Again, Rick Steezy with 3 E's. Hey, Rick, before you plug all your shit, didn't you say MYK was going to start streaming sometime soon?
he's bought some
What?
stuff. He's gonna buy an Elgato. He just told me today. So I was helping him set it up yesterday, and so he's working on it.
Nice.
Eventually he'll get it sorted out. Hopefully, but within a week or 2 or something.
Excellent.
But I don't know. He seems like more of a noob than you, Eris. It's kind of crazy. Like I was walking.
I don't know if you could be more of a noob than me.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. I didn't expect that, but
Wow.
it was kind of surprising. Like, I told him, like, yo, plug the HDMI into the input and the other end into the output. He's like, all right, plug it to input and the other one to the monitor? I'm like,
Wow.
Did I say
so
monitor?
Who the fuck said monitor, bitch?
So yeah.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with MYK, I guess.
Okay, so he's a bitch.
Cool.
Mhm.
Cool. But keep an eye out. I don't know what his Twitch is going to be, but MYK is
Yeah.
going to definitely do that. Also, follow Beal's channel, twitch.tv/BLBeal. He streams after this. He's super weird and does weird shit, but you could check him out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rip, your
yeah.
whatever.
My Twitch channel is Level Up Your Game. You guys can follow me there. I gave away the sticks and headset, by the way, already. The winners were Jackson Martin on YouTube, the Sanders84 on Twitch, and the headset went to Crispy Christian on Twitter, Crispy Dream. So that's all done, though. Thank you guys all for entering. And you guys can follow me on Twitter, REEPAL.
You guys know Crispy Christian is the guy who also won an arcade stick through Fab. So this guy's
That's
just
crazy.
cleaning up. I mean, every Tekken streamer, as soon as they give something away, Crispy Christian is just scooping it up. Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I forgetting? There's one other thing I was gonna fucking say that you just reminded me of. Oh
Something
yeah,
about MYK?
So you've been doing Rocksmith, and Lioncock in the chat room suggested that you play the guitar for the intro of one of the podcast shows, and I want that to happen. So get to the point where you're comfortable playing the guitar, and Internet Rip is going to do the live intro of the podcast when he learns how to play guitar.
It's going to be so bad.
It's going to be beautiful.
Awesome.
In the meantime, Internet, we'll see you when we see you. See you guys later. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Oh.
Take it easy.